Hi, everybody. Dr. Lisa Thompson here of drlisamthompson.com, and I'm coming to you from my home office of the Society of Eden Prairie, Minnesota. And welcome to another edition of Dr. Live. Excited with you. Gorgeous Wednesday here up in Minnesota. For all of my friends down in Florida, my prayers are with you. Not only Florida, but the whole southeast coast of the United States. I have lots of friends down in that area. I'm praying for your safety. Make sure you heed the evacuation warnings. I want you to be safe. Today we're going to be talking about the number one factor that keeps entrepreneurs from having any success. And I titled this, Your Brain is Not Wired for Success. Okay, because yesterday we talked about this a little bit. You know, why people are held back with success, why people believe that success comes in an instant in this day and age. You know, in this mobile society, people are expecting success to happen fast. And I am going to scientifically prove to you today that success doesn't happen in an instant, okay? I'm going to be teaching you some stuff about your brain today and how it learns. So you want to make sure you get out a pad of paper and a pen and take some notes. Your brain is a pattern-seeking mechanism. Your brain is always searching for patterns. So when the brain is going out and learning something, it goes through 4 distinct phases, all right? So we have the first phase, which is unconscious incompetence. And what that means is that the brain doesn't know, and you consciously don't know how to do something. It's not even in your level of awareness. From there, it moves to conscious incompetence, where you know now that you don't know how to do something, and it bothers you. Then it moves to a third phase, which is conscious competence. And conscious competence means you are now learning the skill of how to do something. And then it goes to the fourth phase, which is unconscious competence, where you are able to perform the task from memory. There is no thought to it. This pattern of learning we do all the time, okay? We have done this since we have been infants. I'll give you an example. When we learned to tie our shoe, you know, first we didn't have any awareness of what a shoe was. Then we learned that we had to tie our shoe, and it bothered us, okay? It bothered us that we didn't know how to tie that shoe. So then guess what we had to do? Mom sat down with us, or Dad sat down with us with our shoes, and we had to learn how to tie our shoes. And we kept practicing and practicing and practicing until all of a sudden we were able to lace our shoes without even thinking. We've also do this too now when we learn to drive to our new job. Let's say you started a new job a couple months ago. When you first went to your new job, you had to learn how to get there, right? You were paying attention to all the different signs, and all of a sudden you kept doing it and kept doing it. Hi, Junie, glad to have you on the show today. You keep doing it until all of a sudden you're able to go into the car and you're able to drive there and back, and you're thinking, how did I get here? Okay, that's how your brain learns. And we do that with everything. And it's especially true when we're doing things with our businesses. And I'm going to give blogging as an example here, all right? For a lot of you, if you're working on blogging or any other type of marketing skill, and you're getting frustrated because people are getting results and you're not, your brain is still in that phase too. You're in the conscious incompetent phase. So now you have to go into stage 3, where you have to consistently work at that skill, conscious competence. Now, I'm going to tell you right now how the brain, develops the learning. What's happening in your brain when you're learning this new skill, and how you're going to move from conscious competence to unconscious competence. So what happens is your brain is this gelatinous mass, and there's a whole bunch of these nerve cells. So when your nerve cells come together and they're learning something new, they're going to come together, and at the end of each of these nerve cells, it looks like there's like a little tail, and these tails come together, and these cells are going to form a net. Okay, it looks like a little fish net. That's a particular skill. Now, what happens is as you learn the steps for this particular skill, there's going to be a covering that's going to go over the net, much like a covering that you see over an electrical cord. Excuse me. For example, like the charger to your smartphone. Now, as you keep working on that skill and you keep practicing, what happens is that covering over that neural net, that skill you're learning, gets thicker and thicker. And the thicker the covering on that nerve cell, that task, that neural net, the faster the impulses travel, and the quicker and more efficient you can perform the task. So when you're learning how to blog, for example, you're going to be klutzy, all right? You're still in the process of learning all these skills. You're not going to get it right the first time. Just like when you tied your shoe the first time, you're not going to get it right. Just like when you rode a bike, you were a klutz the first time you rode your bike. When you got up and learned to walk for the first time, guess what? You fell over, okay? And we as entrepreneurs in this conscious competence phase, we don't spend enough time in this phase to master the skill. We get so caught up that the minute we have any type of failure and we mess up, we immediately give up and try to find something new. And what this does is this creates a shiny object syndrome cycle. Okay? And this is why people, they start a business and they fail, because they don't understand this process of conscious competence. You have to stick with it until you've mastered it. Okay? That's what's so important with this learning. And this is why so many people stumble. Okay? That's why we tell people, when you're learning a new skill in your business, you focus on that one skill until you master it, and then you gradually add more. So when we talk about marketing strategies for social media, okay, that's why we tell you to pick one strategy. Then, when you've mastered that strategy and built your audience and you're driving people to your blog, then you can incorporate another strategy. You see, you have to get your brain going into unconscious competence. Now, there's a rule that goes along with all this learning, and I learned this from Lisa Torres Allen. She's one of these great entrepreneurs. I have a tremendous amount of respect for her and admiration. She is someone who struggled for 18 years before she had any success in her business. She didn't give up. And she taught me a rule back last spring that was called the 21-90 rule, which is it takes 21 days to build a habit, 90 days to create a lifestyle. And if you're not following Lisa Torres, you need to follow her. And this also ties in with a recent Facebook Live that Ray Higdon did called Building Your Hustle Muscle. So what this means is you got to stay in that conscious competence phase, and you got to hustle. You got to keep working and developing the skill, because any habit, good or bad, is formed within 21 days performed consistently. So if we're talking about you're going to write a blog post every single day for 21 days, yeah, it's going to be hard. It's going to take time, those first 3 or 4 blog posts. But by the time you get to that 21st blog post, it's going to be easier. And before you know it, you're going to be able to crank out a blog post in 20 minutes. from conception to design to optimizing to writing the content and publish. But it takes time. You have to go through that phase. It's part of our survival mechanism, this 4 phases of learning. And so you have to understand that, and you have to commit to being and implementing and allowing the process, trust the process of your brain going through these phases. So if you're starting to get frustrated right now, okay, and you're seeing these results, it's just because you are in you're in the second phase, conscious incompetence, and you're kind of in that also conscious competence phase. And you just have to say to yourself, I'm getting better and better every day. And just focus on your skill development. Don't compare yourself to someone else's on that skill development scale, all right? They may be at unconscious competence in that area. You're not there yet. Just focus on you. That's what's important here, all right? Are you guys getting value today? I want you to leave a comment in the comment section below. And make sure that you're hitting the notification button in the upper right hand corner of your screen, because what that's going to do is it's going to, Facebook is going to notify you whenever I'm going live, and that way you can come on when I am on. I'm always on Monday through Friday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and then that way we can sit and we can discuss. So if you're getting value, leave a comment and share, and make sure you're tagging your friends as well, because I believe this is something that's not only for entrepreneurs, this is for everybody. You need to learn how your brain really learns a skill and masters it, because what this is going to do is it's going to give you release. All right? You're going to be able to concentrate now, and you're going to be able to focus and work on those skills that you need to work on. Now, I just want to give you a heads up tonight. Tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, there's going to be a training, a great training by my good friend Keisha Bass, and she's going to walk you through how to create your very own sales funnel in 7 minutes. Now, what's really cool about this is a great way for you to take what you've learned today with the 4 phases of learning and apply it to the training tonight. So what I will do at the conclusion of this Facebook Live, I will put the registration link in the video description. Please make sure that you register. We've got a lot of people that are going to come tonight, and I want you to arrive 15 to 30 minutes early so you have your spot. And let me know if you're coming, and send me a Facebook friendship request if you haven't done so. Because what I like to do when we're on these webinar trainings tonight or every Wednesday night, I like to be available, and I am available to answer any questions that you have during the training. Excuse me. So make sure you register tonight, and make sure you tune in tomorrow on The Doctor Is In Live, and we're going to be talking to you about some more strategies of how to help you build your business, and I'll give you a recap of tonight's training. So make sure you're on. I really want you on there tonight, because I know you're going to get a ton of value, and it's really going to help you build your list and build a great audience with your blog as well. So with that said, have a great night. We'll talk to you tomorrow, and I'll see you at the training.